Yeah, no, how the game. I mean, it'll be interesting to be honest with you because I think our time down here right now is extremely valuable. Like we're still in game plan mode. We're still finalizing a lot of touches, and still working through a lot of things that we got to do in order to be prepared to play the game. And so it feels slightly rushed. I think with the pull the travel in, went from Louisiana back to Seattle back down here, but I also know that our guys had that similar experience. We played in the Pac-12 championship game. We actually played on, one day short on rest there, and feels very similar to that.
I saw a clip of you guys on the plane right after the game. Are you already starting prep on the plane?
100%, yeah. Yeah, we had both. I mean, walking into that trip down to Texas, I got game film loaded up on both Alabama and Michigan, and the second you walked out of there, really no celebration. Get on the plane, open up the laptop, start going to work, and that's exactly what we did. And it's been a nonstop. Every single minute that we've been awake has been focused on that since that time.
What stands out about Michigan?
Just their level of discipline and physicality. I think that's one of the biggest things is how physical of a group their front is, what their demeanor, what their identity is. They really stick to their identity and play really good complementary football. And you got to be ready to, establish your own level of physicality on a snap in and snap out basis. And I think where you see people wear down is later in the game, that everybody's amped up right at the beginning of the game and ready to, set the tone. But all of a sudden it's play 40 or play 50 of defending those same power plays. And that's where guys start wearing out. And so you got to be able to be in it for the long haul.
Chuck, Washington's defense finished 81st in third down defense on the year, but held 7 of 21 at Texas and Oregon in third down. It's amazing job on third down. Is there a change, a tweak, or is it just purely health in the secondary?
I mean, a big piece of it's health in the secondary, and then I think as the season's kind of progressed, guys have made some there's some things for certain that we've done schematically, but also I think there's a big piece of weekly basis of those guys being able to execute what we're asking out of them.
Would there be, never going to get away with England, but would there be a little bit more aggressiveness considering the power run game? They like to put 9 in the box and attack every person, and Washington does a really good job getting the safeties up on the line of scrimmage, maybe dropping back. But here, the run is coming, and how do you prevent the fourth quarter, the tires are getting worn down by the 58th rush?
Well, I think you've got to rely on your depth, and I think we're at this point in the year we do have our best depth that we've had throughout the course of the season. I think there's certainly points during the middle of the season where you didn't have the same depth, and so I think you've got to trust your twos. You guys that are coming in, your rotational guys, to help you get through all the way to the end of the game.
Thank you so much.
You guys already have that. They already do. Are we second today? Or are we? No. Yeah. Okay. I am. Mitchell. Yeah. Yeah. Good to meet you. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. My I got a lot of family in Parkston.
Oh, sure.
So my grandfather, my grandfather, my mom are from Parkston. So I've been, Parkston and Mitchell, my home. Yeah. No, it's been a journey, man, for sure. So. Honestly, not really. I don't know. I think it's just the biggest thing is that we've been in a lot of big moments, even though it's not this level, but a lot of big moments over the years. Just like, the thing that's different is guys are bigger, faster, stronger, and there's a lot more people watching the game. So outside of that, I always say the football is 53 and a half yards wide. It's 120 yards long. Yep. Same size of field. It's the same size of field. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Where are you guys at now? Okay. You still got family back in the Mitchell area then, or you grew up there?
All my siblings have gone out.
Yeah.
My wife and dad and his family.
Yeah, I got my brother lives in Sioux Falls still. So, yep. I don't get back. I haven't been back much lately. It's hard to get back, so I haven't been back over there. Yeah, I bet. No, I haven't been back here in a while. It's just time wise. Good to meet you. Awesome meeting you, man. Yep. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate you. Good to meet you.
I was just talking to Cameron earlier about some of the fourth down calls and some of the aggressive calls that the offensive staff has made. He just said, hey, listen, if we don't execute, we just want our defense to not give up more than three. So as a coordinators, stuff like that, you guys are they're going on the wrong side or the same side of the field. Sometimes it might put you guys in a different position. Sort of how do you guys integrate that just in the overall philosophy of aggressive play calling?
Yeah, don't even think twice. I mean, I think that's just been the mentality, of Coach DeBoer. Play the percentages, and it's never a surprise. We practice it all the time. We're used to it. I mean, defensively, we're used to being in a lot of fourth down situations, and we know what being on the book or using analytics is like because so many teams are using analytics now. And I mean, there's never a moment of doubt in your mind about the situation. And it's, hey, when it calls for it, if it works out, which it has for several times, great. If it doesn't, then it's on us to step up to the plate and get a stop.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned analytics, and obviously I know you guys study that, but it also just seems like like there's just a lot of buy-in from the whole program that, hey, this is how we got to coach this team.
Right.
And where does that come from?
Well, I think at the end of the day, if you're going to win a championship, right? I think at the end of the day, you're going to have to be aggressive and you have to pick your spots. And I think we've played in so many close games this year. You got to find that one extra, play where you got to have the confidence to say, hey, we're going to go be aggressive and win the game. And I think the kids understand that. The staff clearly understands that. And everybody's on the same page. And there's never been a wavering of belief or doubt has never entered in. And I think everybody's bought into that philosophy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Chuck. Could you kind of talk about the dynamic of just, you guys got so much experience on the defensive side. How is it coaching a group like this, maybe being with the fact that being
veteran guys, you're asking about that, just having veteran guys. Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, I think you look at a number of like 5th and 6th year guys that are out there right now. I think, Thule has been fantastic for us. Here's this 6-year savvy veteran, and I honestly feel he's been one of the best defensive tackles in the league. And there's so many things he does at critical points in the game that young guys probably wouldn't do. Same thing with Eddie and Asa, and it's just a host of guys that are really veteran. And I think like the biggest thing that I see out of that is that the moment is never too big for them. They've seen all the wars, they've seen all the battles, and I think that's part of the confidence when you walk on the big stage is you've been there before, you've been in situations like it before, and you don't get rattled. Young guys can get rattled, and it's great having veteran guys that the moment's not too big for them. Oh yeah. I think there's confidence. Obviously we played them a year ago, and they'd improved, we'd improved, and we knew it was going to come down to critical plays at the end of the game. And again, I think the guys believed all the way.
Chuck, I grew up on small college campuses.
Right.
And I've watched the athletic director cut the grass and paint the line and do the laundry. What do you think it means to those guys who are out there grinding at Division II, Division III, to see you and Kalen in a really short period of time to be coaching in this game?
Right. Well, I just think that it shows you that the hard work and the level of dedication that you put into the game can certainly pay off. And I think when you get in our shoes, you'll never take anything for granted. We've done the laundry, we've mowed the grass, we've only had so many footballs for the season. We've traveled on one bus. We've eaten cold sandwiches on the side of the road, and And I think what people probably don't really grasp is the work is still the work. It doesn't matter what the level is. And I think it's a message to those guys that it's definitely possible. And there's good football coaches at all levels.
What was the biggest challenge for you as a coach at AD since Montana Tech?
Wow, just not enough hours in the day. I think when you take on that role of being a head coach and the athletic director, most of your day is filled with problems. Anything as an athletic director that comes on your plate is usually not a good thing for the most part. But it just taught me a lot of leadership qualities at a high level. I mean, I think you got to be able to manage an entire athletic department and a football team, and focus on being successful on the field and just investing in people around you and trusting people to do their job every day.
Does it feel the same when you get on the bus after an Oregon game or after a bowl win and you're still sitting next to this guy like you were so many years ago?
Yeah, honestly, yes. It's not changed. I mean, whether it was a win in 2001 or it's 2024 to this day, we talk about it often. I mean, the feeling's the exact same. I mean, it's what's at task. You're fighting monumental battles, and to walk away successful, there's a sense of pride in that. Appreciate it, Mike.
Chuck, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Just wanted to ask about the challenge in facing offense that wants to tell you exactly what it's going to do to you, and then
Right.
continue to do it 30 times in a row if they have to. How do you approach that as defensive coordinator when an offense is as physical and as intentional as they are?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear cut. I mean, the level of physicality, and we've been addressing that throughout the course of the week. And I think there's been some teams in our league that have helped prepare us for this moment. I mean, I think obviously Oregon State, it comes to mind, a really physical, run-oriented style. And so our guys at least have some recall of that type of game plan where they're going to play ball control. They're going to be ultimately very physical. And I think where the key point comes later in the game, it's the 30th time of running downhill into the A gap, and can you do it the 30th time as well as you did the first time? And I think that'll be the telltale of the game, is whether we can continue to manage our level of physicality throughout 4 full quarters.
In terms of their offense, a lot of offenses say that they want to play that way and do that, and very few can.
Right.
What has made them, physically, mentally, schematically able to have that kind of success?
Well, I think number one, they've got excellent depth. I think that's the key thing. I mean, you've got multiple good running backs. You've got a host of tight ends, and their offensive line, all real guys. And so I think their depth allows them to hold up to that. And then, like I said, they're playing very good complementary football. I mean, their defense gets them back on the field. They eat up a lot of clock, chew up a lot of clock when they're on the field, and so it allows them to shorten the game. And they've just done a fantastic job of not making the big mistakes. Thanks, Mike.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about just the veteran presence on the roster.
Right.
You look at so many of the guys here, 3, 4, 5, even some 6-year guys. For you as a coach, how important is that to what you guys are doing?
Well, I think there's always a trust relationship that's built between between players and coaches, and when you've got savvy veterans, I think there's a lot of trust when it comes to game plan and installs and knowing that they understand what they're supposed to do and when they're supposed to do it. And I think it just prepares you to play in big moments and play in big games. And the big thing is our guys never get rattled, they never get on tilt, and that a lot of that has to do with that veteran level of presence.
When you guys first got here, what was your guys as a staff, your first message to the guys that were here?
That we were going to work to build relationships. I think obviously that's the first thing, is you got to form that trust that we were talking about, and I think that's the first thing you have to do. Is obviously they're coming off a very negative situation. We're coming in, they didn't get to choose us. And, you've got to establish that level where they're going to take the coaching and they're going to take the scheme adjustments and they're going to take the new dynamics of how the football team is going to be run, and they've got to buy into it. And I think that's what obviously Coach DeBoer did a fantastic job of, is getting guys to buy in.
How much easier does it make your job when you do know here's who we have and we're able to develop and grow them over time, as opposed to, hey, we're struggling in, 15 transfers on defense.
Yeah, well, I think certainly there's throughout that first spring, you can develop a lot of trust, and you can go back and look at what guys had done previously on film, and have an idea of their skill sets and how you're going to use it from a schematic standpoint. And I think it was a net benefit for us to be able to carry some guys forward and not start from scratch, even though at that time we were all starting from scratch. They had to learn a brand new offensive, defensive, special team systems. The thing is that at the University of Washington, we got some incredibly high football IQ guys. I mean, it's a great school, some really intelligent young men that go there, and so I think us being able to get them to adapt actually happened pretty quickly.
And then I would imagine that made an improvement this year and development this year even more feasible.
Right. Yeah. Now they know at this point, and so they're in a situation now where this is the kind of their second go around. They've been through multiple spring balls, a season, another season. So I think that certainly was a major asset for us. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Hi, Coach.
Hey.
Thanks for your time. J.J. McCarthy, obviously a great quarterback, great efficiency. What do you see as his vulnerabilities?
Well, I don't know if he's got a lot, to be honest with you. I mean, I think it's for us in our season, this is another phenomenal quarterback and a long line of quarterbacks. I mean, in our league, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. See Mike Penix in practice every day. We're used to a lot of high-level quarterback play, and really I think he does a fantastic job all around. I mean, obviously he's active with his feet, very accurate with the football, doesn't make the big mistake, and that's what has allowed their offense to be as successful as it has been.